discovered that doing it,
It's too much.
A lot, yeah.
perfect.
Back to rail. You are. No. That's me.
That was completely
That's
new.
me. That's me. A unit yourself. What do you expect?
Again?
You have a place,
Trouble renting it.
and no. What do you experience right now? You see that you have competition for lower prices.
I haven't really looked, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But that's probably a good idea. I should look. But I'm just noticing no responses.
I see two things. I see people that are ridiculously above me,
Right?
above my price. Above my price, and for maybe houses that look worse, and I see people that are extremely under my price, which means the gap is very big. It's very, very big right now. But there's no doubt that people understand the market, and we see the prices are dropping. You see,
The prices are dropping. Housing prices are dropping. Rent prices are dropping. There's no doubt.
yeah.
But it's dropping slow. It's not like a super fast drop, but it's dropping. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind.
And again, the only thing holding the prices up are the fact that people aren't moving. We talked about this. There's no inventory. That's why prices are as high as they are right now. As soon as there was more inventory, prices are going to come crashing down.
So around where we are right now, there is a lot of inventory for rentals, but they are very high-end rentals.
Yes.
Very much high-end rental, which means 2-bedroom apartments for $3,000. And they are out there right now. You know that next to the mall, they're releasing right now all this big community that is next to the mall, which is huge. Huge. And I'm actually curious about how much the prices are there.
Look it up.
But there are many developments right now owned by big companies, and the rentals are out there. Owning is, of course, difficult, extremely difficult right now.
Owning what, a house?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Still.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, I think that if you've been looking for a house, and if you wanted to buy a house, you could buy a house. You know what I mean? To own a house. I mean, I think part of your issue is that you really struggle with the idea of owning a house, Omri. You really do.
It's right, but it's also the mortgage market is much harder, much harder than what it used to be.
In terms of what, getting a loan?
Yeah.
Wow, I just looked up those rentals. The Oxford Valley rentals.
Oh my God.
So they start at 595 square feet.
Wow.
And they go as high as 1,200 square feet. And they start at 1980 and go as high as 3,300 at the moment.
Wow, that's a lot.
1980
really
for
small.
500 square feet.
595 square feet.
It's a studio.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now.
And this isn't the area for that kind of pricing. Like if you go to King of Prussia, like I would expect that there. I wouldn't expect that here.
Why?
I expect higher in King of Prussia.
Yeah,
No,
I don't agree. What's so good about King of Prussia beside the mall?
Because so King of Prussia, the mall itself brings a certain high line.
Yeah, they're higher level people.
People.
Okay, but that's it. Nothing else about King of Prussia. And I'm in this area a lot. Doesn't appeal.
I was in the mall yesterday. I had to run out today, but I was in the mall yesterday, like the one that's right near the apartments that you were talking about.
Yeah, Oxford Valley.
And, Oxford Valley. So, and one of the stores was by appointment only, which is very weird in Oxford Valley. It was by appointment only, and it was for renting out for when you're having a big event. Like, here's the plates, here's the tables, here's the chairs, or whatever. And honestly, Oxford Valley is not the place to do that kind of stuff in. It's just, you don't have the clientele to have that kind of high level service here. Like it just, and I don't mean
I agree.
I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just that this is not the place to do it.
It changed.
I would expect that at King of Prussia. I would expect that there, but I would not expect that here because you don't have people coming in and spending $5,000 on a rental a month. You know what I mean? Like it's just not going to happen here.
There's a very good chance that King of Prussia, that Oxford Valley will be the next Chamonix. Or maybe they will convert more commercial.
You mean the mall?
Yeah.
So the mall is slowly being knocked down.
Yeah.
You could tell it's
Yeah.
slowly being knocked down.
That's
Yeah,
why
and
they
then
build already the apartment. Maybe
Now,
they
maybe
will
the
do
apartments
more.
will bring it back, but I don't know.
I wouldn't hold my breath for that.
They need to make it so it's part of the community where they have certain restaurants inside the mall.
Mm-hmm.
So the community can walk over there and have certain meals and maybe
Yeah.
do certain things.
5 years ago, this mall was full.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Not 5
It
years
wasn't.
ago.
It wasn't full for a really long time.
Yeah.
But COVID killed all malls.
Yeah.
Basically, they put all the malls out of business. COVID, because nobody wants to. People got used to shopping online. I mean, look what happened yesterday, right? We're talking about Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
There was no traffic. There was no lines. There was no nothing yesterday. It was not like it used to be where it used to be Black Friday, where the stores, they lost money all year, and on Black Friday, they made the money back.
Yeah.
That didn't happen yesterday. No way. And then they have this thing called Cyber Monday,
Yeah.
where everybody goes online. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't even think Cyber Monday is going to be like Cyber Monday. I think Cyber Monday is going to be, it's going to be good, but it's not going to be like it used to be because people are buying stuff all year round now.
So
I mean, my wife and I, we don't even buy each other presents anymore. You know why?
Why?
Because whatever
buy-
she wants,
you
I'll
just
buy
buy
her, and whatever I want, she'll
Yeah.
buy me. So we don't need to buy presents anymore.
Yeah,
And we don't
we're-
even want anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we're in the same spot. Like we'll buy something for the girls or something if they want something. But like I always say, I'm like, there's nothing I need because if I wanted, I would have already bought it.
So let's talk about that because I see the same situation right now with the contract to hold apartment. People coming, you explain to them over the phone, bring a deposit if you're serious and you want me to hold the apartment for you,
Right, sure.
the unit for you. They tell you they understand. They come to see the place and they say they don't have the money on them
Okay,
right
so what
now.
Army's talking about for you
Now-
guys who are listening, because I know Army
Yeah.
thinks everybody's in his head. So what we do is when we meet somebody for the first time and we're gonna show them the apartment, we tell them on the phone, bring $1,000 deposit in case you like it.
Mhm.
If you like it, we'll take $1,000 deposit, then we'll run your credit, and then we'll we'll rent it to you. But
Now-
we're not taking it off the market unless you give us the $1,000 deposit.
Correct. Now,
So-
people has less money right now, you believe?
Well,
or
right
what's
now,
going
a lot
on?
of people living on credit, and that seems to be a big thing right now, where people were used to living a certain lifestyle, during the Trump era, when Trump was president the first time,
Mhm.
they were used to live in a certain lifestyle. And then, Biden comes in and wrecks the whole freaking economy, and they don't even realize it because they're using their credit cards to maintain the same life. So they keep thinking that eventually they're going to be able to pay their credit cards off, which is not going to happen, but that's okay. What will happen is we're going to have a credit card crash again, like we did in 2008. We're going to have a bank crash, a credit card crash, bank crash. It's going to happen. I just don't know when. I just hope it happens after Trump because I don't want everybody blaming Trump for it because it's not Trump's fault. When that happens, it's Biden. So it's not even Biden's fault. You want to know the truth? It's the scamdemic's fault. And if they would have left everything alone and they would have left everything open and not changed anything and said, hey, listen, wash your hands. Don't touch your face, like Fauci said at the beginning. Just don't cough on people. Be a little more conscious. We would have never had what we had. We wouldn't have had all the loans that went out, the PPP loans and the EIDL loans. I mean, it's a real problem. It's going to be a real problem for people.
So what's going to happen? How people are going to pay this?
And eventually, they're not. They're going to walk away.
And they what? You think the government will let's say motivate that? I don't think so.
There's no government. It's not. You mean the EIDL loans? The EIDL loans?
No. I'm talking about people's credit card bills that
in
they won't be
America,
able to
I
pay.
don't know how it works in Israel. In America, it's different.
Mhm.
You just stop paying. And then they take away your credit cards, and they take away your credit, and they just don't give you credit again for 7 more years.
And yet they will put a lien against your house against
No.
something.
No, not for
Not
credit cards.
necessarily.
No.
Really,
credit card,
not
yeah.
for a credit card.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
So what happened?
Well,
Pretty
if you
much
stop paying
nothing.
your house, it's something different.
Pretty
but if
much
you stop-
nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you get a bunch of, hey, you have to pay, and you get people hounding you. You get
Yeah.
calls every day. But I mean, at some point, it's then it goes to a third-party creditor, and then they're going to hound you for a little while, and then somebody buys your debt for 10 cents on the dollar. Whatever.
It's not.
Okay.
It's a strange world. It's a strange country. It's actually a good country. You can't put people in jail. There's no such thing as debtor's prison. And that's
No,
what it was.
I
There used to be
get
debtor's prison. Now there's not. Now it's, now it's people and their conscience and their morals are saying, oh, I can't afford to pay my bills every month, so I'm not going to feed my kid. I'm going to pay the credit cards instead. That's a mistake. Sometimes you have to walk away from your credit.
Okay. I mean, I didn't see it like that, but I understand what. As a tenant, if, for example, they have no record at all of landlord-tenant problems in the past.
So it depends, right? So it's not, you know how I am. I don't necessarily go by credit score alone.
Mm-hmm.
I go by what's caused the problem, right? You
Tell
know,
me the story, yeah.
So yeah, so what's the story? Why were you late in a car? Why were you late in a car payment? You're not going to believe it, but I have automatic debit, and they didn't take it that month. And I mean, that's a legitimate story. But if they say, well, if they have 3 or 4 lates on their car payment, what happened? Sometimes I just can't pay my bills. Sorry, I don't want that happening to me. You're not my tenant.
But on the other side, if a person won't pay his credit card or won't pay his car loan, so he will be able to pay the rent.
So
I can say I don't care.
No,
that's the thing that.
No, if they can't pay their car loan, then how are they getting to work to pay your rent?
Right, exactly. Eventually, the car's gonna be taken away.
Right. So if they can't pay, like if they are late on their car loan, that's a big red flag for me, because I know I need my car to get to work, or whatever, I need my car to get to work, and if I don't have my car, then how am I going to get to work to get paid? Right. So I always say, in terms of paying bills, it's the house, the cars, and everything else.
Exactly. The house is always first.
The house, the cars, and everything else. Because you need a place to live, you need to be able to get to where your job is, and everything else comes after that.
Okay.
That's just
that's
how I do it.
I agree. I mean, look, you do something like so we do a search on PAE dockets.
Correct.
So we'll take a tenant and we'll just do a quick search just to see if there's anything substantial, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had one tenant who I noticed that come up a lot was, he was drunk driving without a license. His credit score was decent. It was like 620, 630, not great, but, and I was very concerned about this. And I said to the guy when he came to see me, I said, listen, do you have a license? And he said, no. I said, well, how are you driving around? And I said, well, I was driving around for a while. Now my wife takes me fine, I'll rent to you. But I was mostly concerned that he was going to lose his job because he was going to be able to get to work.
To it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's we are looking at responsibility, but I think the most thing for us as responsibility is how responsible you were at the past for paying your rent.
Right.
I get it because we see more and more. We saw many of those applications through in the mobile home park in Florida. That people
the mobile home park. That's so the applications we get are awful. I mean, it amazes me. I mean, it's like usually you look at somebody with a 600 credit score, you just throw the application away.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're looking at it going, oh man, I better look at this because this is still higher than every other one we got.
Correct. It's more than that. It's that the stories that you hear there are beyond everything we heard before.
Yeah, you got to remember that people living in a mobile home park are usually transient people. They're usually people who have had down their luck, not making a lot of money, don't pay their bills, and now you got to figure out, hey, look, am I going to trust you to live in this mobile home park for a couple of years and pay the rent?
Yeah, correct.
Some will, some won't. So it's kind of a weird. It's a different tenant.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a different tenant. I've never experienced this before. It's a different tenant. We're getting used to it now.
We are.
We're screening them a little bit differently. We realize that their credit's terrible, but still we take them.
Mm-hmm.
Some, I look at personalities too.
Me too.
Sometimes I have a problem with it.
So I'm in this position right now that I have that the application is one problem, but I have a bigger problem with personality, with the tenant's personality. Again, it's a Section 8 tenant, and I can communicate with my wife. When the husband get involved, I have a big problem.
What does he do?
He's more aggressive.
Okay.
He's more with the attitude that I deserve, and everybody should give me the right or the opportunity and all that. He don't like that I question.
Well, does he talk nasty to you?
Not nasty, aggressive. He didn't talk nasty to me yet.
So then
It
move
would
on.
be.
I would move on. If somebody was doing that to me, I'd be like, you know what? I'm
I
not sure this
I
is a good fit
agree.
for you.
I agree with you in this case because we are such in an advanced situation, especially with the organization that pay all their moving costs and all that. I won't, especially because this organization guaranteed for so long, and I think that's the problem. If you are a landlord, you need to know, and that's something I'm learning from Larry, how to screen those voices sometimes.
Yeah.
I was in situation with Larry that I want to catch this disease.
So you know,
Someone can shout at him or curse him or whatever. He said, okay, tell me when you can pay rent. Bye. Boom. That easy. He don't get offended by this attitude for some reason.
I've noticed I've started changing the way I'm screening tenants, a little
Okay.
bit, and I'm a lot more skeptical, and because I'm very trusting, and I get myself in trouble for that, and I'm starting to realize that half the stuff that comes out of their mouth is a lie. And then I sit, and I don't,
No,
and
I don't
it's, no, I'm telling a lie. And then I sit there and I have a conversation for 10 or 15 minutes and I'll catch them in the lie.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And then it's just like,
Right.
okay.
That's why you have conversations with people.
Yeah, so I'm starting to learn. So that's when I was saying that I have those two guys moving in. The guy I went and I spoke to for like a good 20 minutes. He was really nice. We were going back and forth. I was asking him all kinds of questions, and he was fine. I'm like, I want to meet your roommate. Well, he's across town. I'm like, well, go get him because until I meet him, and then like the first 10 minutes, he was just really quiet. He wasn't talking to me, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to happen. And then I started asking other kinds of questions, and we just started having a conversation. And he opened up, and he was, and they seemed like the two of them, they seemed really nice. So I'm really comfortable with them. But
Yeah,
I think
fair.
if I wasn't able to meet that other guy, it wouldn't have been worth it for me. Because you know what, I learned that lesson.
I was in this situation before, and when it's a family, when it's a couple, when it's few adults living in the same house, I find the person that I want to communicate with. Believe it or not, in one of my Norristown property is the teenage son. It's also because the parents don't speak the language, but it's because he has the most patient. He's the most communicative, of course. Okay, if there is a problem, he send me a picture of the problem. He send me a confirmation for the rent payment because it's a direct deposit every month. Best way, the best person. And that's why every time I'm in this situation that I'm trying to find a new tenant, I try to find the person that I will communicate with. Because to me, it's the most communication, relationship, everything. The most important thing about is, of course, how the communication will go.
All right. I'm like, this was a great conversation about tenants. So I'm really glad we had it. So if you, by the way, in case you thought that this made it sound like landlording is difficult, it's not. It actually, if you listen to this conversation carefully, you actually see that we've learned how to be landlords.
Exactly.
And you can learn how to be a landlord too at Investor Schooling, of course. But if we learn how to be a landlord, things are going to be much, much better for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. You don't hear these stories. Everybody got these stories that somebody stayed forever, etc. It doesn't happen. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening. You guys are awesome. We appreciate it. This was our third hour. We did pretty good. We kept it going, Deb. We kept it going.
Yoo-hoo!
Of course, I want to thank Dr. Deb, and I want to thank Omri for both being here. And, of course, the sweet Glenn Page for being our awesome producer. If you want to learn more, go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. And you could take a complimentary class this Thursday. See you there.
This program is paid for by
You are clear.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you, Glenn. We look
Talk
forward
to
to
you
seeing
later.
you Monday.
Bye.
Yeah, Larry.
Yeah.
Which hour do you want?
I don't know. Which hour do we want?
I would say the second one.
All right, let's do the second one.
2 to 3. Okay, you
Thank
got
you.
it. And also, is there anything I need to bring to the?
Yes, it's a potluck.
other than the potluck.
Yeah, just a potluck.